Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another great episode brought to you by the CFB Nation. As we see Go Ducks, they become Pro Ducks. We're going to hit on some of that. We're going to hit on the defense this time around. This is the O.
All right, everybody got goals and aspirations. You know how you get those? You be the best where you're at.
What does Evan Stewart bring to the table here? In short, you get a ball.
The grass is not always green. In fact, the grass is damn green in Eugene.
The grass is damn green in Eugene. Nowhere else where the grass is damn green. When you make it to the NFL, man, it's an exciting thing to see when you see these young athletes in any program achieve something that's probably a dream of theirs since they were little, go pro. And the NFL Combine recently happened, and some of our Ducks, you know what it is, it's Go Ducks here, are now going to become Pro Ducks. We're going to recap some of their highlights, talk about some of the defense on how we ended up last year and some things that can change for this year to help us out, taste that national championship. As you know, we're Big Ten winners already, so we're going on for further. But first, let's start with the Pro Ducks here. Jordan James came out, ran a 4.45 pretty good, right? We knew he wasn't as the explosive back as much as what we thought Bucky was, and Bucky came out and did, had a great season this past season. Jordan James came out, had a 1.62 split, very athletic, showed some of that. I think this is a guy that, is going to help out a team. It's hard to, call another Bucky Irvin, but Jordan James can definitely be a weapon for a team, especially if you think about change of pace type of back or third down back and just make some plays. So when the guys have a power or a bruiser type of runner, insert Jordan James to come in, let that guy come out, take a rest. Now you have Jordan James doing some things. I won't say a disappointment, more so like just a wow, I guess. Ches Johnson, came out around the 4.5 140. Really wasn't expecting that. He showed a little bit more explosive. The key part was, though, you don't look at the straight line speed. You look at what they do within that first, 10 feet or so. He had a 1.53 split, which was great. And then his athleticism really is in his twitch. Right, we know he can get down the field, but how does he do that? He does that by moving around really quickly, doing things efficiently, and we saw that in his three-cone drill when he had a 6.65 on the three-cone, fastest among the wide receivers. Exactly, his twitch is there. He's gonna be an asset to any team that drafts him. I know the 40 wasn't impressive, but you're not getting him to burn guys down the field. He could do it. We saw him do it in college. Combine may not show that, but you're getting him to make the plays, go in the middle of the field, and get that ball and do some great things along the way as well. Now, Trayshawn Holden had a 4.57, excuse me, getting my words mixed up there a little bit. And then Terrence Ferguson, really the highlight of the day. T-Ferg came out and did some great things. He had a 4.63 fastest among the tight end, 1.55 split. Tied first among the tight end, led the tight ends with the 39-inch vertical, and then had a 10-2 broad jump, was third for the tight ends. Honestly, I think Ferguson pushed himself into day two capital. I think this is a tight end that we already talked about this class as being a deeper class. He just said, okay, I'm one of the tight ends that needs to go early on. I think this was a great show out for him. In the combine, these guys can't really hurt this stock. I don't feel like it could only improve it, right? If you play the other, it's like, okay, we knew where you were. But Ferguson enhanced his stock. At first, I thought, oh, this is a possible day three type of pick for a team. I think he now goes day two, possibly end of the second, maybe even, third, early third. But we'll see what happens there. I was really excited to see. And Josh Connerly had a 5.5 as well. This is a great for an offensive lineman. I think that kind of solidified him to go in the first round potentially and be one of them. Right now, I think he is possibly the only first round pick on the offensive side of the ball for Oregon right now, but that's great. I mean, he's an asset to any team. He could go out there and do some phenomenal things for him. You talk about Johnny Cornelius, another tackle that is going to be a big weapon for your outside there as well to make those plays for a linebacker or quarterback to go out there and do it. This is a phenomenal draft class for the Oregon Ducks. I'm excited to see where this side goes on offense. But the defense, oh boy, man, we had some big boys do some good things, man. Let's talk about one, Jordan Birch. He came out 6'4", 279, did phenomenal there, actually. He had a 4.67 40, doing great. 1.66 split, again, doing great. This is a guy that can be explosive for you on the outside. Any team that drafts him is going to be very excited to get him. I don't think he necessarily goes into day 2, but he's definitely good, or excuse me, day 1. I think he's definitely going to be a day 2 pick, and I'm going to be excited to see what team gets him. Well, if he goes to Denver, that'll be awesome. But that's going to be great. Derek Harmon, man, really the highlight of the show for me. This kid, all right, 6'4", 313 pounds, ran a 4.95 40. This guy was moving. This guy is, whatever you want to say about it, this guy is going to be a pain in the whatever you want to call it for opposing quarterbacks. He's going to make sure he gets in there. He's going to make sure he doesn't impact the play so much that quarterbacks may even fear, say, hey, I need a break from this guy. This guy is too much of a beast. I need to step back and get a little break there. And then we had Jamar Caldwell, had a 5.16 40 as well. Another big guy in the middle that can make some moves. He's more of your brick wall, right? If you put him in the middle, it's going to be hard for anyone to just get around him. And the running backs are going to be forced to go to the outside there. We had Jeffrey Bossa, had a 4.63 40, 38.5 vertical, 21 bench reps. Bossa's day 3 pick, right? But I think he's going to be a phenomenal asset too, right? He could be a leader on the team. He showed what he can do this past season as well. He's going to be someone that can really impact the team, not only on the field, but also in the locker room. I think he can get the whole defense behind him and say, hey, let's go make some plays. We're going to see him make some big plays, some possible run stops that really matter. Those final seconds of the games, you need those linebackers like Bossa to go in there and make those plays. Jabbar Muhammad, so his combine wasn't as impressive, right? I get that. It doesn't matter, man. This guy still has some of the best shutdown that I've seen. He's a physical type of defensive back. He is going to get in some faces. He might be a lockdown to the sense that you have some quarterbacks not even throwing his way. I know it didn't look great for him, but he's still going to go out there and do some finesse things. You know, he had 29.5 vertical there. He got 7.01 3-cone drill. He's not going because of his footwork. He can stay with your wide receivers, but he's going because of his physicality. Any team that gets him is going to have someone that can go in there, get in a wide receiver's face, and just disrupt their whole presence, their whole idea of even what the play is. They're going to get in their face and they're going to make it happen. Right? We like to see those type of things from defensive backs, and I'm excited to see what Muhammad can do as well. Now, this is a great class for Oregon Ducks. As I mentioned, on both sides of the ball, we have guys that can make some plays on both sides. Doesn't matter where they're getting drafted. Yes, everyone wants to go in the first round. Guess what? We're going to have guys go late, and they're still going to make an impact for the team. But speaking of that, these guys that are going pro affected how the defense went this past season. Right. So this past season, Oregon had the 25th ranked passing defense, allowing 185.9 yards per game. They had the 38th ranked rushing defense, allowing 130 yards per game. Now, some games were worse than others. Some games were better than others. Overall, that's not a championship team. I mean, as much as we want to say, oh, yeah, they did run the Big Ten. I'm excited they did. It's not a championship team, though. Why? Let's talk about Ohio State, the people that didn't win the national championship. They were top 3 in both categories. 167 pass yards allowed, 87.6 rushing yards per game. Okay? Top 3 in both categories. I said it in last week's episode. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. And we saw that with Ohio State. Their defense came to play. Their defense did phenomenal things to make it happen. But as you know, during the fall season, the grass, the trees, they get a little darker, right? You don't see as much sun. Springtime comes, and now it's a new bloom. We're about to see a new bloom. So let's take a look at this front 7 on where we can highlight some key players that can make an impact for the Oregon Ducks defense this year. 1, Mateo Ugalele comes back. He returns. This guy really stepped up when the team needed someone to make big plays. Mateo was there. I can't tell you how many times I was in my house watching the games. I'm just like, Mateo! He was doing big things. He was making plays happen, and he was making an impact every step of the way when he was on the field. When he wasn't, you noticed it. When he was, you knew it, because he is that guy that's going to be disrupting every single play, whether it be a running back, whether it be a quarterback, whether it just be gaining around an offensive lineman. Mateo is one of their best defensive players coming back into the season. Excited to see what he can do. Barry Alexander from USC. Now, he did get injured last year, okay, so we didn't see as much. But the year before, he had 32 pressures and 28 run stops, right? This guy is 6'3", 300 pounds, just a physical specimen. This guy is just a man beast, dominant type of person you want in the middle of your defensive line. Why? Because if he is there, you don't have anybody, I mean anybody, running in his direction, because he is great. He can make big plays. He is that strong that he does it. Double team him if you want. He's that strong that he can still push through you and make those big plays happen. So quarterbacks, again, are gonna have a tough time with him if their guards or their centers don't match up. Hey, he's gonna get straight through and go after it. Running backs, I hope you can run outside because you're not running up the middle if Barry Alexander does stay healthy with us this season. Brian Boucher coming back, tackling machine. We talked about Mateo making a big play. Guess what? Boucher was definitely one of the leaders on the defense. Boucher was all around the field. He's going to take that step into that leadership role, really take control of that defense there. This is going to be his defensive room. This is going to be his. If the defense fails, Boucher, you're going to be the one that has to energize them back up. You're going to be the one that has to say, hey, guys, look, we're getting kicked right now, down in the ground. We need to get back up. We need to fight. We need to give our offense a shot. We need to make this stop right here. That's going to be what Boucher's going to come in. Tatum Tuyaldi looks like he's ready to make life difficult for opposing quarterbacks. Coming off the edge, he can explode off it as well. He has good finesse moves to get around some of your linemen. This is going to be a great guy. You compare him with Mateo, and you have two guys in them, Boucher, and then you have Barry Alexander right there as well. Oh, my. Come on, man. Come on. This is going to be something for the Oregon Ducks to make some big plays happen. I'm excited to see what that French 7 does. We definitely need our rush defense to happen. As I mentioned, 38th ranked last year, 130 yards per game rushing defense. These four I mentioned are going to be a big part in what's going to happen in improving that. We need to at least be top 20. If we would even be in conversation championship, we need to at least be top 20. These guys can make it happen in there. We're going to shut it down this year when it comes to the Russian defense, and we're going to make sure that no one, like remember Titans, remember Ducks, nobody, you blitz all night, nobody gains in our yard. These guys are going to bring the heat. But in case they don't, we need to, fall back, right? We need something to fall back if the front 7 doesn't get to the quarterback, doesn't make that run stop, doesn't do those type of things. So where does that lead us? To the secondary, the next man up. We mentioned Jabbar Muhammad's on the way. He's a big part of it. We have Kobe Savage returning. He only allowed 76 yards after the catch last season. This guy, he closes immediately. This is a kid that is going to make plays happen. If the receiver catches the ball, guess what? He's right there bringing him down right away. That's going to be something that's big. Kobe Savage can cover the field if need be. So if that running back gets through the front 7, guess what? Kobe Savage can be one of the first ones there. We talked about Dylan Thielman from Purdue. This kid, since a freshman, he's been balling. And now he's going to go ball him in Eugene as well. This is going to be something for Dylan Thielman. You have Kobe Savage doing some great things. I'm excited to see what they bring to the field. Darren Johnson from Northwestern. This was a guy that was just a physical presence for Northwestern last season. 10 pass deflections. He gets his hands on the ball. He is going to make sure it's a tough day for wide receivers, right? He's going to get in their face and make sure, hey, if the ball's coming my way, guess what? I'm either going to swat it down or I'm going to pick it off. That's just how it's going to be. So it's going to shift. Okay, where are we going to throw the ball to? You're going to have guys like Aaron Flowers, right? We talked about Aaron Flowers when he was a freshman. This guy is someone that is a strong safety that can go out there and just move like he's honestly a wide receiver with the finesse. He brings that physicality to him. You have people like Trey McNutt coming in, right? You have Dakota Fields as well. You have Dalen Austin. This whole secondary is going to be something that needs to learn. Watch tape from last season and say, look, this is where we failed on. This is where we allowed some explosive plays to happen. I know you saw the games against Ohio State. You know some explosive plays I'm talking about. This is what we need to avoid, right? Again, their job isn't to necessarily take the front 7, right? If the front 7 fails, their job isn't to clean up. They will because they have to, right? You don't want the opposing defense to score, but their job is to make sure these guys have nowhere to pass on. This is a no-fly zone when you come to Oregon now. In Eugene, it's a no-fly zone. Quarterbacks don't even bother passing the ball because we have guys now that are not only ball hawks in the sense of getting hands on the ball and making that deflection or making that interception, but I'm talking about guys that can get from field, sideline to sideline, all around and make the plays, make the impacts. They're going to make it so difficult for quarterbacks this season that it's going to be phenomenal just watching them, because now we have guys that are going to fly around the field all day, every day. This is going to be phenomenal. The spring game is coming around soon. This team has a lot of hype. This team has a lot of young athletes that are ready to say, hey, this is my time, right? We've gotten some guys from transfer portal. We got some guys that have been patiently waiting. Now it's their time. This is going to be a phenomenal season for these guys. Oregon Ducks, they're ready, man. They're hungry. As I said, the offense, it's up to you to win these games. But defense, we saw what y'all wore, man. Let's just repeat that one more time. 25th in passing defense, 38th in rushing defense. We saw what y'all wore last season. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure always talking to y'all. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to CFB Nation. I am SC Romero. This is the O. Peace.
All right, everybody got goals and aspirations. You know how you get those? You be the best where you're at.
What does Evan Stewart bring to the table here? In short, you get a baller.
The grass is not always green. In fact, the grass is damn green.